It's Thursday, April 3rd, 2008, and you are watching The Ointment. I'm Steve Tatham, your host. And today is a great day for American film comedians because today is the birthday of both Doris Day and Eddie Murphy. Hey, maybe they can one day make a movie together and not win an Oscar. Our top story is the election. Which election? The one in Zimbabwe, where President Mugabe was defeated, although there is going to be a runoff. He is 84 years old. Looks pretty good for 84. Gives John McCain some hope. Also giving McCain hope is the fact that this guy did pretty well considering the incumbent party is leading a nation with 100,000% inflation. 100,000% inflation. When somebody asked McCain about that, he said, "Is that bad?" Not an expert in the economy. On the domestic front in the election news, Barack Obama got sort of pestered by a fan who kept repeatedly asking him to pose for a photograph. It was a very persistent fan who really wanted to be posing in photographs with Obama. It turns out it was Senator Clinton. She just wants to be included. She just wants to be on the team. She wants to be in the snapshots. There's one thing that's been on my mind lately that I just have to get off my chest. And that is that America, as of late, has been having a lot of discussions about race, which I think is just awesome. Let's have that conversation. But there's something that people say that just really bugs me. And that's when they say something like this. You know what? He belongs to a black church that preaches about black power and the black community. What if I belong to a white church that preaches about white power and the white community? How would you feel about that, huh? I'd feel like you're a moron because you can't just switch the words around. You can't just switch black and white because they mean something completely different and have a completely different context, which is exactly why we have so many words in the English language, because they all mean something different. We have thousands and thousands of words. In math, you got like 10 numerals, which is why you can switch numbers around and they still add up to the same thing. The transitive power or the transitive property doesn't work with language. You know, so that's really irritating, and I really was at my wit's end when I read an article about fat discrimination today, and somebody said, well, you know, I get discriminated against because I'm fat. Imagine if you switched it around and it was because I was black. How would you feel about that? Well, I'd feel completely differently. I'm not saying one's better, one's worse, one's okay. I'm just saying they're different. Quit switching the words around. Let's discuss the issue at hand, not something completely different and meaningless and out of context. Let me give you an example. The Jew that hates the Nazi is not the same as the Nazi that hates the Jew. You can't switch the words around. One more example. A woman riding a horse is an ordinary event you might see on the street. The horse riding the woman is an extraordinary event you'd have to pay extra to see. You see what I'm saying? And finally, in science news, scientists have determined that you don't need 8 glasses of water a day. No, that's just a myth. That's not true at all. Although Paula Abdul says you need 8 glasses of water a day if you add vodka. That's The Ointment for another day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Steve Tatham, and that's news. Catch you tomorrow, everybody.